Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's live here in the Facebook group Anxiety Warriors with Zoe Jean. If you are new here or you've been here for a while, I'd love for you to come say hi in the comments. If you're live or if you watch the replay, #replay. I'd be really honoured to know that you've been here and that you're watching, and I'd love to know what you want to see more of and what you want to get out of this group, because I'm here to serve each and every one of you and treat each and every one of you as a unique individual, because let's face it, we're all different, right? If we were all the same, life would be boring. We're all different, we all have different wants, we all have different needs, we all have different values. So it's time to treat ourselves and everyone else as the unique individual that we are. So if you would like some support with anything, let me know. For those of you that are new here, my name is Zoe Jean, and I'm an anxiety coach and NLP practitioner, helping women to heal their anxiety from all over the world, focusing on a process called the Rewrite Your Anxiety method, which focuses on subconscious mind reprogramming, building a deep connection with your body. So essentially working with your body instead of against it, as a lot of us work against our body when we're anxious, regulating your nervous system and building sustainable habits. And I'd also love for you to let me know in the comments what all of that means. Do you understand what reprogramming your mind means? Do you understand what working with your body means? Do you understand what working with your nervous system means and creating healthy habits? If you don't understand or you have any questions about that, definitely let me know, as I know it's something that we don't know unless we know, right? So if you have any questions about that process or how that process could help you, definitely let me know. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about, relationships and a little bit about self-worth, right? Because a lot of us as women, we're conditioned to crave that love and connection from a significant other, from like a partner or, a husband or a wife, or just that person that we feel we're going to be in love with for the rest of our lives, and that's going to love us back and that's going to treat us right. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to create that perfect relationship because we feel that we need that perfect relationship, right? We feel like we're not whole and we can't be happy or fulfilled unless we have that significant other in our life. Again, whether they're in our life as a partner, as a husband, as a wife, or whatever. But we don't feel whole or good enough unless we've got that, right? And quite often when we're single, we can feel like we're empty and we're broken, like something's missing, and like we can't fully be happy or fully be at ease until we get that significant partner in our lives. Hi Jill, thanks for watching. Jules, sorry. But I just want to say that can't be further from the truth, right? Because we're all born with love for ourselves and love for other people, and we all are enough as we are. We don't need that special person in our lives to be happy, to feel joy, to get the most out of life. Like, the only person we can heavily rely on is ourselves. But a lot of us aren't conditioned to believe that or to know that. Especially, growing up with society's expectations about, having a partner or husband and being married, or being in a long-term relationship by XYZ times. And when we see, what other people are doing, that also puts pressure on ourselves as well. And when we have other people telling us what's right or wrong, that also can create a lot of pressure on us as well, plus deeply what we want. And if we've had it in the past and we don't have it now, we can create stories and narratives about really needing it and not being happy till we get it. And sometimes if we either don't have a relationship, if we're single, or if we did have a relationship and then that relationship doesn't work, we make it all about us. We think, oh, I'm single, or that relationship didn't work and I'm back to being single again because it's about me. I wasn't good enough. I didn't do XYZ right. I didn't people please enough. I was too noisy, or I was too loud, or I was too anxious, or I was too dumb, or I was too ugly. I wasn't a good enough cook. I didn't do this right. We heavily make it about us and about our worth and about not being good enough. And the reason we make it about us is because we deeply believe that we are the problem, because we don't have that self-worth, we don't have that self-love, and we don't have that confidence in ourselves. But when we develop that self-love in ourselves, that confidence, and that self-worth, we can realize it is not about us. It's probably just that person is either not right for us, or it's not the right time. You know, there's so many reasons why you could be single, or there's so many reasons why a relationship with a particular person didn't work out. It could completely have nothing to do with you. It could be just that you want different things. For example, maybe one wants kids and one doesn't, or maybe one's ready for commitment, or maybe one's not, or you're just too different hobby-wise, or maybe they have got their own healing work and growth work needed before they're able to move on. You know, maybe they're riddled with anxiety and fear themselves, and have really struggled in the past and have certain beliefs that are making that relationship very difficult to commit to or to be happy and healthy and secure in. You know, there's so many reasons, but I see so many women blame it on themselves and make it about them. You know, we quite often make everything about us, not just significant relationship-wise, everything, but it's really not about you. So if you do make it about you, I want you to start to realize that it's actually not about you, and that is a sign that you need to work on yourself, that you need to build some self-love, that you need to build some self-worth, and that you need to build some confidence in yourself. And these are all things that I help my clients to do. You know, I have the 12-week program called Rewrite Your Anxiety, which gives you everything you need to heal your anxiety, to change your programs in your subconscious mind so you can feel confident, you can feel worthy, and you can love yourself. But I also have different options as well, like the Building Unstoppable Confidence in You bundle, you know, meditations that also have self-love meditations, inner child meditations, and everything that will also help you in that respect as well. But just take this as a reminder that it's time to work on yourself, right? Because how does it, I know it's hard, I know it's scary, but how does it feel, right, to, you know, be single, you know, long term and forever fear that you're not going to be good enough for someone, you're not going to be lovable, you're not going to be able to maintain that relationship, or just keep getting into relationships after relationships and just being miserable because you don't feel good enough, and, you know, you're fighting to keep that relationship and you're constantly people pleasing. And quite often when we don't feel good enough and we don't feel worthy, that creates a lot of relationship anxiety, and we put that anxiety onto the other person, and then that's also what causes the relationship to break up, because our insecurities and our anxiety, we're projecting that onto the partner, and then that's what actually causes the relationship to fail a lot of the time. Especially if our partner is an avoidant person and we're an anxious person. Like when you're anxious, you know, you just want more and more, you're like, give me love, reassure me, tell me everything's going to be okay, don't distance me. And if we're bringing that onto an avoidant person, then that's going to make them pull further and further away, and they're going to feel, you know, more like you're, you know, you're relying on them, you know, you need them, and you're not giving them their space to be independent and to do what they want to do. And that's going to be really scary for them. It's going to make them want to pull back. It's going to make them want to distance themselves from you. And especially if part of your anxiety is, you know, saying negative things about them, that you don't do this to me, or you don't love me, or whatever, or you're not committing to me. If you say things like that, that can also make an avoidant person feel like they're a failure, that they're not doing something right. And that can also be a really big red flag there as well. And another really good thing to know when it comes to relationships, we tend to make it about us, but when you actually take a back seat and you reflect and you look on from the outside, you can actually see generally how a person treats one person, the person that they're with in a relationship at a particular time, is how they treat all of their partners. Like one of my recent partners, he essentially was a workaholic, and at times, you know, I would make that about me, that, oh, I wasn't good enough for him to want to spend time with. He would rather work than spend time with me. Why didn't he enjoy spending time with me? What was, you know, wrong with me? But upon reflection, he had been married, he'd been in other long-term relationships, and he didn't even have time to see his wife, for crying out loud. Like obviously marrying someone is a big commitment. So if he didn't have time for his last relationships and didn't even have time for his ex-wife, then clearly it wasn't about me. He was just the type of person that was a workaholic for whatever reason. But for so long, I was making that about me. And it's so powerful to take that back seat and reflect and look on the outer side and be like, wow, that actually wasn't about me. It's just the type of person he is. So generally, how a guy treats you is generally how he treats everyone. Occasionally they do change a little bit, based on how maybe they committed they are, because generally the more times a relationship fails and the earlier they get, and the older they get, and maybe they get more committed in time because they feel more ready for a marriage or a long-term relationship. So sometimes it does change a little bit if they're feeling more committed and more ready to settle down than maybe they were with prior relationships. Or sometimes they change a little bit from past experiences, like if they had a negative, like if this ex of mine had a negative experience, so like frick, like this is at least 3 relationships in a row that have failed because I'm working so much, then maybe in his next relationship he finally might change a little bit and work slightly less, but he's probably not gonna, stop working as much as he currently is completely. Like he'll still probably work a lot, but not as much, if that makes sense. Or maybe he'll change a job where he still works a lot, but the hours are different, right? So I just want to reiterate, generally how a guy treats one person he's in a relationship with is how he's going to treat everyone, unless he gets to a point where he's more committed and more ready. Then he might start to make a little bit of changes, and again, they might start to make a little bit of changes due to past experiences of what worked and what didn't work. So just really take that in and stop making it about you, because the majority of the things they're going to do are going to be exactly the same. And if they do change slight things, it's just from when they're ready and their past experiences of what worked and what they're willing to change from those past negative experiences. We all grow and learn with every single relationship that we have. And, guys are different for females. We quite often become ready from a young age. Like from a young age, we know if we want kids or not, we want marriage, we want a partner. But guys take a lot longer to mature, and they take a lot longer to be ready and to commit. So sometimes they might not make changes because they're not 100% ready to commit yet. But then when they're ready to commit, they will 100% commit, and they will commit to pretty much, anyone that they deem to be like a good person to commit with. So, they might not have committed to you because they weren't ready to commit at that time, but maybe they commit to their future partner because they're ready at that time, right? So it's not about you not being good enough, it's that they weren't ready to commit at that time. So yeah, let's just take a moment to reflect on that. If you are either single, or if you're either single and you're having for ages, or you just keep being in relationships and it's not working and you're making it be about you, take a step back and be like, is this actually about me, or is this person acting this way in every single relationship? And so that's number one. Number two, reflect about, is it actually that we're just too different and we're not aligned? And question what proof you have that it's actually that you guys just aren't aligned and that you guys aren't meant to be. What proof do you have that that's correct? And what proof do you have that you're just not good enough? Because when you can see that there actually is no proof that you're just not good enough, that can help. And then also look at, their age and whether they're, ready to commit. If they said they were ready to commit, like have a look at their certain attachment style that they have, if they told you their attachment style, or just maybe learn a little bit more about attachment styles, which I can also help you with, to actually realize that maybe also it wasn't about you, it was also their attachment style. Like maybe if they're an avoidant person and you're an anxious person. Yeah, so really just take the time to journal on and reflect on, is this actually about me, or is it just the fact, is it actually about me, or is it just the fact that they've been like this with every person, so it's not just that I wasn't good enough, they just always like this? So that's number one. And number two, do our values and hobbies and everything just not align to why we're not meant to be together? And also reflect on, if they're not willing to, grow and learn, and if they've got personal issues holding them back, that could be to do with it as well. Just really take a big step back and reflect on all the possibilities to why this could be the case, rather than you not being good enough. And then maybe end that list with end all of that with a list of all the things that do make you good enough, and all the reasons why you can love yourself, and all the compliments that you can give to yourself and that other people have given to you. That can make a real big difference as well. And if you're really currently struggling with this, whether you're single, in a relationship, and you've got relationship anxiety, definitely comment relationship anxiety below, and I'll be happy to gift you a free healing call to the first 3 people that comment that, as I know relationships and relationship anxiety holds us back a lot. And some of my clients, I've helped them really, really significantly on relationship anxiety, and it helped not only them, but it also helped their partner as well, without their partner even having to do any of the healing work, because when they show up differently, their partner also shows up differently. So there's all of that as well. And if you just want some more tips to help you get started on your healing journey when it comes to self-worth and relationships, then comment prompts as well, and I can give you some journal prompts. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope this helps. I did get distracted because someone tried to call me, so I hope that this live all still worked well. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.